Hey everyone, welcome to I'm 21 years old and I don't know what to do with my hair. Sad Girl 94 here, and today we're going to talk about fears. I did a poll on my Instagram between what I should do a video on, and I'm going to do one on this topic and then one on another topic. I don't know when they'll be released, but look out for that. Also, if you like my eyeshadow, leave a comment if you would like to see that makeup look below. So when talking about fears, there's a lot that goes on. Like, it's a really complicated subject, and it's of course like each person views it differently, because some people, like, they fear drives them to do different things, or some people are absolutely terrified of going out of their comfort zone. Fear drives both of those feelings, I feel like. So I'm going to talk about some of my fears, and not necessarily how to like conquer those fears, because I'm not a TEDx talker, I'm not a motivational speaker, I don't have a degree in any type of like therapy or anything like that. I'm working on stuff like that. So yeah, take what I say with a grain of salt, but if you feel the same and want to reflect on that, like, leave a comment below, we'll have a discussion. That's all video is for, really. Starting a discussion about fears, what they are, what they mean, like what they do, like if they're motivating for you or if they're just debilitating. Because so for some people, fear is what limits them, which I have felt that way before. I was in middle school and I would like cry all the time only because I was terrified of high school. Why? Because like I don't know why, but in like movies and cartoons, high school was like a terrifying place, only because it was like you would get bullied a lot. There's a lot of cliques. Teachers are not going to care about you. When it's like it's half right, half wrong. Because when I went to high school, I didn't really have a lot of friends until my senior year. And it was hard for me because I was like super depressed all the time. I would cry all the time. I wouldn't go to school, or I would just be so caught up in myself and my fears that I wouldn't go out and become the person that I am today. Which isn't much better, like I'm still sad, I still cry a lot, but I'm more motivated to go outside of my fears, to go outside of what is keeping me from being the best me I can be, So I was terrified of high school. Got into high school, it was a half good, half shitty experience, as any high school could be. But, I turned it around. I would do little things today. I would say, like, hi to someone or good morning to this person. And then, like, I got invited to, like, their parties, or, like, I would be in a group chat with them. And that was a big accomplishment, because I never thought that I would have, like, a group of friends in high school or even college. And though me forcing myself to go out of my comfort zone and defeat my fears basically helped me choose what college I wanted to go to, choose what I wanted to do, and what I wanted to be, and things like that. Now, when I wasn't afraid after that. I was just like, what, I can do what I want to do. I can do what I want to set my mind to and be successful at it. If I can actually get a group of friends in high school, I can do anything. The world is my oyster. That's what kind of thinking that I had. I was happier. I was more motivated. I had a job. I was making money. I was ready to leave, not my family behind, but I was ready to leave the nest, as like old people would say, or older people would say. So I had got accepted to like 6 or 7 public universities. I think 2 were private. One was, the rest, it was like, okay, let's say I got accepted to 7. Two or so were private and the rest were public. I should have gone to the one that gave me the most scholarship, but me being the runaway that I am, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this university that's 500 miles away from my home. That's gonna be a challenge, but I will be able to do what I want to do. I'll be able to be more independent. I can take the bus, I can walk, I can Uber, I can Lyft, I can work when I want to work. I can, reinvent myself if I wanted to. I can make all these new friends and have all these great new experiences. When I got here, I was a little intimidated, because where my university is, it's super white. There's a lot of white people everywhere. And being from Houston, you don't really see, well, especially where I'm from, like in my neighborhood, there's not a lot of white people. So that was already just like, oh, shit, like, where are the brown people? Where's the black people? Where are people that can relate to my experiences, what I've been doing? So after that, like, I set out, I joined a bunch of organizations. I was just like, okay, I'm not going to let this inhibit me from having a college experience that I want to enjoy and what I want to do. And I cried a lot again. I went to therapy. I went to group therapy. I had a bunch of crises. I broke down a lot. I was even suicidal for a while, because I was just not in a good space. And maybe going to a college that far away didn't really help with that. Maybe it made it worse. Maybe it made it more terrifying. But after spring semester 2016, I knew what I wanted to do. I switched my majors. I was pre-engineering, and now I'm like in a more community, family oriented major that's more nonprofit associated, I would say. and I absolutely hated all the hard math and sciences. I don't know why. Like, my high school convinced me that I could be an engineer because I am not the best at like math and science and stuff like that. So again, you know, I was going to therapy. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let my anxieties and my mental illness get the best of me. You know, I want to continue to do this, and I did. Like, I had a 1.9 GPA, and now like I'm literally like at a 3. I'm at a 3.0. Going closer to my senior year. But yeah, so that's like my little like triumphant story that, you know, I'm still here. I'm struggling, you know, I am working 2 jobs now. I technically have 3 jobs. I haven't unpacked a lot of my stuff. That's why it kind of looks like I'm in a prison cell. I was gonna put up some decorations, but I have a lot of chores to do. Like, I need to clean and do laundry and stuff like that. So I was like, you know, let's get a video, let's do a video, and then we'll get out other stuff that I need to do. So other fears. This is gonna be a little bit difficult because there's so many things in this world with all this stuff going on, especially with like the presidency, immigration, drugs being laced with who knows what now. You know, everything is terrifying. Everything can kill you at any moment. And that's something that a lot of people put behind. They don't really think about that, you know, getting in the Uber or whatever, you could be kidnapped. Going on the airport, that airplane could crash. Going to like a conference or whatever, there could be a major shooting there. Getting food poisoning and then dying, you know what I mean? There's so many things to be afraid of. But I guess we're just like in such a technological advanced age, or we're just in our own ignorance or in our own nihilism that we're just not thinking about that anymore. Or if you are afraid of those things, it's totally normal. It's fine. You do little by little. Like, you can do exposure therapy, you can face it head on, or you can do little by little. Like, let's say you're agoraphobic or you don't want to leave the house. Try leaving your room first. After you leave your room, go to a different room. You know, go to the bathroom. If you can go to the front lawn or the backyard, that's a step. Those are all steps to doing it. So like with a job you're terrified of getting of, one story that that makes me sad all the time, but you know, it's okay. I got rejected from a job that I wanted 3 times, and I'm now like working in the department of the job that I wanted. But you know, I don't know if they're gonna ask me to be in that position again, or if they're gonna like reject me or say like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do on your own. It hurts my pride. You know, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough for that job or that position, or to work with that group of people, you know. But throw it behind, you know, I'm still making money, I'm making new friends, I'm still having, you know, other experiences than I would being in that group of people. Sorry, I'm gassy. Had Chinese food, had cookies, ate too much. But yeah, you know, the baby steps. Other things that I'm afraid of. What am I terrified of? I'm afraid of being alone. I am far away from my family, I'm far away from my friends. All my friends went home for summer. And, you know, it's weird. I am super isolated. I have a few friends, and they're nice and sweet and stuff, but, you know, I forget. We all forget that we can reach out and talk to those people that we want to talk to. And, you know, so you isolate yourself. That's what I've been doing, you know what I mean? It's not good. It's not good for me, because I felt, you know, that I'm alone and I'm by myself, but I'm not. I'm surrounded by my roommates. I'm surrounded by other staff that cares about me and things like that. But it's hard to think about, you know, people who care about you or other experiences and things like that when you're so into your own, when you trap yourself into this mentality, or you're stuck in a way of thinking, you know what I mean? I'm afraid that I'm never gonna learn to drive, and that's like a real fear, because if I break up with my boyfriend, or if like my dad dies one day, how am I gonna get places? How am I gonna do things? Obviously we have like Uber, Lyft, I can walk, I can take the bus, there's things in place for that, but do I always want to be stuck like this? So I always want to be like trapped and not be free, or like within the limitations of like my lifestyle and things like that, you know? That's a real fear. That's absolutely terrifying, but you know, maybe I'll learn soon, or maybe I'll never learn. Maybe I hate cars, because I hadn't actually think about it, but I've had a lot of bad experiences with cars. Maybe that's why I don't want to drive. Maybe that's what's keeping me from, you know, being a real adult and things like that, you know? I'm afraid that I'm not going to live to 25, that bad things are going to happen, or that my depression is going to get the best of me, you know? Like, that's a real fear, and that terrifies me. But, you know, will I be brave enough to make that decision? I have no idea. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Fear of the unknown is a big one, you know? But again, if you can find that positivity, find that light, talk to yourself, talk with people who love you, write it out, paint it up, scream, cry, whatever you need to do, you know, you can come to a solution. We all can. Even if like you don't have access to the internet, you can like read books, you can write about it, you can talk to your family. There's solutions. what I'm saying is that there, of course, there's an in-between between, you know, fear motivating you and you being terrified of your own fears, or your fears keeping you from doing what you want to do. Obviously, there's like 1,000 million in-betweens, but this is just what I've experienced, in that I've taken it, I've gone through it, I ran with it, I, you know, sprinted, I jumped, I hurdled with it, and I am more or less where I want to be. I may not be happy, I may still go through it, you know, like how we all do, but I can do it, and so can you. You can. You're more than intelligent enough. You are more than smart enough. You're more than motivated enough, or you're more than, you know, you're more than what your fears are, and you can do it. I know you can do it. If I can do it, not to say that, like, you know, just because I can do it, oh, you can do it. It might take you less time. It might take you more time. You know what I mean? But I think once you realize it, you get to the root of the problem. You're just like, okay, this is exactly what I'm afraid of. Like, I'm afraid of driving. I'm afraid of being alone. I'm afraid of dying alone. Stuff like that. That's my fear. But, you know, I can surround myself with people that I love. That's something that can, you know, keep it at bay, or not completely get rid of it, but keep me comforted enough to know that that's not always what's at the front of my mind. So you can push it back, but it might always be there, you know, if you keep it back. That's something that, you know, we all have to deal with. So, like, if you want to, like, go to online counseling, get an app that says, like, hey, this is what's keeping me from doing what I need to do. Or they even have, like, anonymous websites where you can just talk to a stranger and there's, like, no judgment. I've done, I think it's called, like, 7 Cups of Tea, 7cupsoftea.com, that's the website, and, like, I've cried on my phone and talked to strangers because that's what was most accessible to me at the time. So if that's what you need, do it. If it's, like, posting stuff on Instagram or posting stuff on Twitter or on Facebook, or just, like, talking, you know, like, when you're a child and you're talking to your mom and you're asking her 1,000 million questions because, you know, you're still new to the world, and, you know, she's the only thing that you know, then go ahead and do that. Like, if you go to the library a lot, talk to a librarian. You know, human connection and by any means of your hobbies can totally be a way of either driving or inhibiting your fear. So that's up to you. Do with what the information that I told you can do. I don't even know if this video made any sense, but if it did, leave a like and a comment. If you have any other topics, or if you guys want me to, like, continue to do just, like, the Instagram poll videos, let me know. You know, I want to get to, like, 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and if that would be cool, you know, that would be nice, because I know I abandoned my YouTube for a while, but it's because of life circumstances. You know, everything happens, and sometimes it happens all at once, you know. So yeah, have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.